In this PowerPoint, we'll be looking at lighting design, which is the art of painting pictures with light. The objectives of the lighting designer are to provide visibility, help establish time and place, help create mood, reinforce style, provide focus and visual composition, and establish rhythm of visual movement. We'll start by looking at history of lighting for the theater. From ancient Greece to Shakespearean Renaissance, the source of light was sunlight. When theaters moved indoors, they lit the space with candles, chandeliers, and oil lamps. The auditorium was as bright as the stage, and the audience went partially not only to see the play, but also to be seen themselves. Lighting designers introduced reflectors, bottles or colored liquids to color lights, dimming of lights with a tin can lowered over candles, and a snuff boy was used to trim wicks of candles during performances when people just sort of ignored him. Scenery, the wings and borders, provided masks for the candle lighting so it wasn't directly in the view of the audience members. But because they were dealing with open flames, fires were very common. Theaters burned down. In the early 19th century, theaters converted to gas lighting. This allowed central control of lights from a dimmer board called a gas table. The light was brighter and cleaner. Colored glass or silk was used to enhance the mood by coloring the light. Footlights, border lights, wing lights were still used, and the box set and more realistic settings developed. But gas is explosive, and theater explosions were common. In 1803, the limelight was used by Drummond to measure the size of England. It used a block of lime heated to incandescence by an oxygen-hydrogen flame, and it was in 1860 began to be used in the theater. Because it was a controlled light, it could be used as a follow spot. This is where that term "in the limelight" came from, referring to being in the spotlight. In 1879, the light bulb was invented in the United States by Thomas Edison. Electric light bulbs provided a safe, controllable light source. David Belasco, the producer and director in realism, and Louis Hartman, who was a lighting designer, were friends who worked together in the theater. Hartman developed new lighting techniques using curved reflectors and lenses. In the 1940s and 50s, a designer named McCandless developed a theory of lighting the stage 45 degrees above and 45 degrees in front, so diagonal lighting of the actor, and that was the most natural lighting. And it used one warm light and one cool light projected to project the facial features of the actors strongly. He also divided the stage into lighting areas. The 7 basic qualities of light are intensity, color, direction, movement or change, and texture or pattern, which is also sometimes called form. Intensity refers to how bright it is. This influences the mood. Comedies tend to be bright and tragedies tend to be dark. Color also impacts the mood of a scene. Red evokes feelings of violence or passion. Blue usually depicts night or dark or cold. Amber light represents sun or warmth or happiness, and green depicts evil, meanness, or cruelty. Another basic quality of light is direction, which refers to where the light is coming from and the angle at which the light hits an object. It helps to evoke a sense of visual reality in an environment. Movement or change is usually accomplished by use of a follow spot or a change in lighting intensity, color, or direction. This can also refer to variations in the speed of change in the light. A crossfade, which is a fade from one set of lights into another, is another way movement can be accomplished. Texture or pattern, sometimes called form, can add to the intensity and help create a sense of reality in a scene, depending on the type of texture that is added. Here's another example of texture, and another. These are some of the tools for the lighting designer. Strip lights was a row of lights of multiple colors. This provides a wash of light or general illumination of certain colors and allows the designer to tone and blend the light intensities and colors. The scoop is a floodlight using a 1,000-watt lamp, very bright, provides a general wash of light. The ERS, or LICO is a brand name, meaning Levi and Cook ellipsoidal reflector spotlight, is the most commonly used light. It's a true spotlight, sharp-edged, and can focus and frame light with shutters inserted on the front edge here. A gobo is a metal plate or glass or sometimes even paper, with cutout patterns inserted on the front of the LICO in this frame. Paper gobos, if they're used, burn away, and that can become a special effect. A donut, which is a gobo with a hole in the middle, sharpens the image and cuts out light spill. A Fresnel was created by a French inventor. It's a soft-edged spotlight and can use a top hat, which is sort of like a tin can put on the front, to shadow some of the light spill. A gel is a plastic sheet which absorbs all but its own color, thus transporting its color to the stage. It was originally made from jello, hence the name gel. Color in light is different than how color works in pigment. So in light, the original color is white. And so when you combine them, it's not the same as what you learned in painting class. This is what a light plot looks like. It's a bird's eye view map to all the lights that are used on stage and provides information about instrument types, colors, watts, etc. This is what a lighting designer's cue sheet might look like. It provides moment-by-moment notations of what changes will be happening with the lights and what cues each change. The steps in actualizing the design after the preliminary design process include watching a run-through of the play on the set, if possible, determining the available lighting positions, inventory, and color stock of gels that are available, preparing a light plot, color order, circuit and dimmer schedules, hanging, plugging, and focusing the instruments, preparing the preliminary cue list and sample cues, using the technical rehearsal to set specific light cues and timing, correcting color or focus problems and making any necessary additions, attending dress rehearsals to check cues, timing, and focus, attending rehearsals and or performances to adjust for changes that occur in the stage action. Usually once a production opens, the stage manager monitors that and informs the director and designer if there is any major change that needs attention. And then once the run of performances have ended, the designer stores the equipment, files the gels away, and does any minor equipment maintenance that's necessary. And that is called the strike. This is an example of a lighting design in action for the play Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. And here are some examples of lighting designs from the other two plays we've read, A Doll's House and Oedipus Rex.